enjoy it. Just enjoy it,
Okay,
guys.
sorry.
And now, well, hey guys, welcome back to Verified Podcast. We're super excited to have you on with us today. And we're super excited that Pastor Mark is back from his vacation. Mark, welcome
you
back.
Thank you guys for saving a seat for me.
Good.
How was vacation for you?
Too good, actually. Too good. I think I get used to doing nothing. Yeah.
Really?
But I'm ready to go back to
That
work,
actually
too.
means a lot coming from you because you're one of the hardest workers I know.
Well, and I worked a
Yeah.
lot at home, but I got tired of working at home, so I'm ready to work here.
Yeah.
So you actually didn't stop working.
No, I get itchy, scratchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't sit still.
Do
No.
something.
I know the
Got to
feeling.
do something.
Yep.
But I did read a lot of books, and now I'm back. So
Yeah, one per day I
Good.
was hearing.
yeah,
That is
for a while.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going through them.
Yeah, I can. There's only a few times in my life I read that heavy, but when it's a good book, man,
Yeah.
you can just power it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, hey guys, we are on today, and this is kind of a unique podcast for us. As you know, one, it's a little late. It's about a week and a half late. Thank you, Brett. Brett's on the cameras, by the way, as usual. Thank you, Brett.
You're
on the
awesome,
soundboard.
Brett.
But it's also unique to us because this is the last podcast we're going to do for the summer, and we're going to take a pause, and we're going to talk about that in this podcast a little bit. But we're coming back this fall, but we really want to take a pause to think about what the Lord wants us to do, what are new things He wants to add, how does He want to change things, what are some new topics, some new visions He wants us to explore, and it's going to be a really good time. And so today we're actually just going to reflect a little bit on what the Lord has been doing.
Yeah.
Has it been a year and a half, 2 years almost we've been doing the podcast?
Yeah, it's been a growing experience.
Yeah.
It's been a growing experience.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we started off, we were in the back room with a little black
Yes.
pop-up wall around us and just
Yes.
crammed in this little space. And the sound quality was, we were always struggling with the echoes. And then God just kept growing it. And we got better equipment and cameras and headphones and mics. And then we got this room, and Brett built this table. And
Yeah.
you've probably seen, if you go back and watch all of our podcasts, the way the background has continued to grow and grow and
Right.
grow. And it's not done yet, by the way. That's part of the September
Yeah.
vision. But it's been pretty exciting to see what the Lord has been doing on this podcast.
Yeah.
I think it's good to pause, you know, as long as it's not just
So too.
a quit and get totally distracted. If it's a reset, if it's a refocus, that's
Yep.
always healthy in any part of life.
So today we're not
Yeah.
having a podcast, we're having a pausecast.
Pausecast.
Boom.
Yeah.
In fact, we should label this podcast, Brett. That'd be awesome.
Pausecast. Gonna look back and then kind of look ahead, maybe.
Yes.
And you know what?
Hey, nice timing there, Brett.
You know what? It's actually a good habit for life
Yes.
to pause.
Yes.
To pause and reflect on what the Lord is doing and what He has done and what
Yep.
He yet wants to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like God might have instituted a Sabbath or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't take that in the
Right.
American culture.
Not in an American culture, no.
Not
We
very
cram every
well.
day full.
But you know what? It's so true. We
Yeah.
need to learn to rest.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I was thinking about how, I don't know if it was your vision or someone's vision about having a podcast going and getting set up with the media. And then it felt like right after that COVID came and we needed all of that stuff.
We really did.
Yeah, and you guys were set up with it. And I feel like that was really,
It's a God thing.
it really was.
Yeah.
It was really the providence of God because there were, I mean, obviously we were still growing even when COVID came, but there were a lot of things already in place
Yep.
that allowed our church to continue to work to minister. And I know with children's ministry, I was recording videos and I look back and kind of laugh at some of the different things that I did, but you're
But
figuring it out.
We tried it.
We
did,
tried.
yeah.
We tried. And we figured some things out. And yeah.
You know, it kind of all started in this men's ministry meeting we had. We were talking
right,
about
that's
rebooting
right.
the men's ministry because right as we rebooted it, COVID hit and it kind of killed it.
Yeah.
But we were like, how can we reboot this? What would be fun? And then also we were like,
Yeah.
what happens if we start doing like testimonies podcast and start our own podcasting for men? And we all just got super excited about it. And little did we know that it was going to really grow to be a whole
Evolve
church
into
thing.
something else. Yeah.
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 I'm excited what's going to grow into.
Yeah. Well, Mark, I know yesterday we wrote out some of the topics, and Heather, you got a list here.
Yeah, I wrote out a list.
Things we talked about, and we thought it'd be fun just to reflect on it a little bit. Because
Yeah.
as we were going over it, we were like, whoa, that was a good one. And,
Yeah.
oh, man, I remember that one. So what do you got, Heather?
Let's see. We've done courage, wisdom for motherhood, and I did that with your mom, and that one was really enjoyable. We've talked about Mere Christianity.
That was a
The
good
book.
one. Man, I love that book.
Yeah, worship, doubt, the freedom of self-forgetfulness.
Let's
book.
pause right there for a
Okay,
second.
yeah, pause me,
Dealing
'cause
with
there's just a lot.
doubts. Mark, that was the
Yeah.
last one you did.
I actually
Was it?
checked some of my favorites,
Oh, yeah,
and that was
yeah.
one of my favorite
That was
ones,
such a good one.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody faces it, and we're not trying to promote it necessarily, but looking back at it, it was timely for
Yeah.
a lot of us. Yeah.
Yeah, but we are promoting
Yeah.
it. Like if you haven't listened to
Hey,
it,
you
no,
gotta
for
check it
real.
out. Yeah.
That was a good one because
Yeah.
we're all gonna
Right.
face doubts. But
Yep.
what are you gonna do about it when the doubt comes?
Yeah, you got to deal
Right.
with it.
Yeah, and doubt can be an opportunity for your faith to grow.
Feed your faith, starve your doubts.
Amen. That's
Yep.
Did you say that on the podcast?
No, I should have though.
You should have. Brett, can you
Can
edit
we
that
go
in
back and
right
edit that
there?
back in?
Put that in there.
Feed your faith, starve your doubts.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
What other ones do we have?
I liked the one on freedom of self-forgetfulness, the book cover we did.
Yes.
That
and I
was
know
powerful.
people kind of thought maybe we were getting into a Tim Keller rut.
We were.
But
It was great.
Man, that one was awesome.
really good.
You know,
Yeah.
just the idea of getting beyond yourself and getting over yourself and being able to focus not in judgmental way on anybody, including yourself, because the Lord
Yeah.
is the one that has both forgiven us and extended grace to us. We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Well, and I had forgotten until we went down the list, but through Gates of Splendor,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Elizabeth Elliot. Oh my goodness,
So good.
That was a radical one.
Yeah,
So
I think
good.
that one was timely for me because it kind of
Yeah.
reignited like a more of a global vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of get, at least I have, kind of get stuck in just the mundane of getting through life. But man, that was good.
Yeah, if you haven't
Yeah.
read that book, or you can listen to it on like
Yes.
the audio for Hoopla, I'd encourage you to go listen to it. That one is a
Absolutely.
game changer. It
It really
totally
is.
changed your perspective
Yep.
on life.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's done in a very authentic way.
It is.
Yeah.
More of a biography, looking
Convicting.
back.
I think I
looking ahead.
cried listening to her read the book.
I
Yeah, it's
definitely
powerful.
felt.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that takes us back to our very first book, as we're on this train of thought, which was Roy Hession's Calvary Road.
Yeah, thank you guys for letting me do that.
That
one.
was
That-
such a convicting read.
Yes. Yes.
The Power of the Blood.
Power of the Blood. Heather, talk to us about it because I know you loved that book.
I did. It's one I had never heard of.
Yeah.
So I was glad that you mentioned it because it was so powerful. I feel like it's the kind of book that you could read annually
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just never not need the message
Yeah.
that it presents.
I had somebody ask me once, Mark, if you had to put a top 10 books, what changed your life,
Yep.
what would be on there? And books like In His Steps by Charles Sheldon came up.
Yep.
And then the very second one that came to my mind was Calvary Road by Roy Hession, because
Yeah.
that one, I found myself at the time when I first read it, high and dry. He
Yeah.
uses that phrase in there. High, but no energy, no
different
life.
kind of high than Ashland.
Yeah.
That's right. But and then just the refreshing of the blood of Christ. So it was a really good one, and it was fun to do it with
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
who hadn't read it before, to go back.
You know,
Good.
you can listen to that book in 45 minutes. It's a short but powerful listen.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, if you listen to it on Hoopla, they have this old British man read it to you.
I never did do that. I
Mark,
should
you gotta
do
do
that.
it. It's
Really.
so good. I was actually thinking
good.
as we're talking about this fall, I can see myself in a corner sitting on like a couch with my blanket, some tea, maybe some biscuits. Lauren makes the best homemade biscuits. I'm serious. This fall, I'm a little bit
Are we
romantic
talking like
when it
British
comes to
biscuits or
I'm
or American biscuits?
biscuits and butter. Lauren makes good
Okay, all right.
circular biscuits. They're not British, but man, they're good.
Yeah.
I kind of just get the Hobbit feels when I
Yeah.
listen
Yeah.
to
You're
him
ready to
reading the
get
British
cozy.
accent. I am, and I'm just ready to get cozy and listen to Roy all over again.
Yes.
So this fall, that's going to be my little thing.
Yeah.
I just
Nobody else sits down with the tea and a blanket and Chronicles
Oh, yeah.
of Narnia. Anyone?
Oh, yeah.
I just watched The
Absolutely.
Hobbit the other day though, and it was
Good.
kind of going back.
My dad, if my
good.
dad ever listened to this podcast, he would be shouting through the other side of that camera that it's not like the book. We can't
Yeah.
watch that movie
I
with him.
know it.
Every time we watch that movie with them,
Yeah, it's not like the book.
he's always like, no talking during movies. And then we watch, and he'll be the whole time be like, that's not in the book. That's not in the book.
But he's the one talking.
He is.
Right.
He's
After he
like,
made the
that's not in
rule.
the book. And he's angry. He's like, we get done with the movie. He's like, none of that's in the book. You're like, Dad.
No.
All right, sorry, I totally off-railed us, off-roaded us, whatever.
That's all right.
What was one of your
All right.
favorites, Heather?
One of my favorites. Let's see. I really liked, what was the one that we did right after Christmas?
New Year's resolutions.
Was that it?
Oh, that was fun.
That was a fun one.
That might have been it. That's one that I felt
We
like
had
was
fun
really
with that
fun.
one.
I
Pursuing
think we
growth,
really did
not
have that
goals.
fun.
That
Yeah.
was a good one.
Yeah, I don't have that on my list, but I think that was one of my favorite ones. I think that was just fun and
and convicting. You really plowed down my row on that one.
it was convicting.
Yeah. Well, it was,
It
all
was
your fault.
convicting. Well,
And the Advent one, that was actually really good too.
the Advent one, yep. That was good. Gratitude was good.
Testing positive for gratitude.
Yep.
Oh man, Brett and I did that one right when everyone was like scared to test positive for COVID. We're like,
Yep.
what about doing testing positive for gratitude?
Yes.
So fun. And hey, you know what? Gratitude is something God is still continually teaching me. I don't know
Yeah.
about you guys,
Yep.
but God gets on my case to practice gratitude.
Yep.
It's not just to praise Him. It does something for me too. It changes
It's-
my perspective.
Yeah.
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 It transforms your. Well, it takes us back, I think, to Romans. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? I
Yeah.
think gratitude is one of the ways we transform our minds and reorient ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you're grumpy-
I heard one guy say that he'd never met a grateful, depressed person.
Yeah.
That's a good quote.
Yep.
That's a good quote. So what we're saying is if you're grumpy, get grateful.
It's true.
That's right.
Don't get mad. Get grateful.
Practice
Not
gratitude.
glad.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one. I might go back and listen to that one again.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Let me look at your list, Heather. I want to see
Sure.
your list too.
Go for
Can I
it.
read your handwriting?
I don't know. Can you?
What is this? Just- shame. That was a
shame.
good
That was a
one.
good one too.
Oh, and I know it's in here somewhere, but confession. We did one on confession.
did one
True
on confession. I don't
He
know if that
called
was
it
written
true
down.
confession. That was
Yeah.
different.
That is so powerful.
Yeah.
I'm still learning to practice real confession in my life. It is
Yep.
powerful.
Yep. It's true.
It's true.
It
True
is true.
confession.
As he confessed his need to.
Do you guys
learn
remember
true
the one
confession.
living above dysfunction?
Yes, that was another
Yes.
really
that
good one.
was so good.
That
I
was
got
really
some really
good.
good comments from that from dysfunctional people.
yeah,
Which
our-
is
yeah.
all of us. All of us.
church
Hey,
is
hey,
full
hey,
of them. We're all dysfunctional. You know
Yeah.
what's so funny is we were with our staff right before we shot that one. It was
Yes.
right after. We were talking about dysfunction.
Yes.
And we were like, who here feels like they have dysfunction in ministry? And we had a bunch of new people we had just brought on at the
Right.
time.
Right.
And a lot of them were like, no, this is all great. We're like, look, if you don't have dysfunction, we'll give it to you before
Right.
you
Yeah, just
leave.
wait.
Just wait. We'll
wait.
give it to you.
Come
And
out.
it's the truth, but learning to live above that and letting Christ redeem dysfunction.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
It's
it's
good.
good.
What did one of our staff members say today in our meeting? Something about something becoming your assets. What was the word they used?
Your weaknesses.
It wasn't weakness. It was something
Oh.
else.
Oh,
There
your
was
character
something.
defects.
Your defects become
Character defects
yeah.
become
I wrote
character
that down, but
assets.
Yes.
Yeah, if they're
When the Lord
surrendered
redeemed.
to the Lord. Yeah.
Yeah.
When the Lord
Yes.
redeems. I thought that was a good one.
That is
Yeah.
good.
Tim LaHaye
That's
wrote
really
a book
good.
years ago called Spirit Controlled Temperament, and he talked about
Yeah.
your natural temperament and how it can be positive and negative, but
Yeah.
under the control of the Spirit, even those negatives become positive.
Yes.
It's kind of a neat concept.
It
So
is
I
a
thought
neat
about that
concept.
this morning when she said that in staff meeting.
Who wrote that book?
Tim LaHaye.
Yeah.
Tim LaHaye.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it down because
It's an old one.
I have character defects. I have lots of those. Tim LaHaye. What a cool name. What was it called?
Spirit Controlled Temperament. He's the guy that wrote all those Left Behind books.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't read it then.
Yeah. You know, I never read those. My kids read them. I started reading. I go, this is not for
Not
me."
your thing.
You didn't like the movies with Kirk Cameron?
They were all right.
Scared me to death when I was a child.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Funny.
Anytime I was alone, I couldn't get a hold of him in one. I was
Uh-oh.
like, it happened.
Rapture happened. I'm
Terrifying.
Rapture
behind.
happened. I'm all alone. For real. It's horrible.
I wish it would happen.
So
Let's
funny.
go.
Yes.
Let's get out of here.
Yes.
I hear this generation talking a lot about Enneagrams. You know, I've never done that. I don't know
I
anything
love
about it,
Enneagram.
but it's one personality type,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Kind of-
evil.
Yeah. But under the
No.
under the control,
Teasing.
any kind of thing that you'd use to show, you know, kind of your
Yeah.
natural inclinations or predispositions towards a certain thing under the control
Yeah.
of the Holy Spirit can be a good thing because He made you
Yeah.
that way. God made you that way. He didn't make mistakes. It wasn't an oops. But because
Yep.
our flesh is corrupted, it kind of spins things in a negative way. And so it's kind of a neat concept.
I'm
Yeah.
a Myers-Briggs kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
What is it? Gallup Strength Finder. Those ones feel more scientific to me.
Yeah.
Enneagram feels like the Pinterest personality test.
That's funny.
I'm just goading Heather right here.
I'm like, there's a lot of history behind it. I
I'm
do like
just
Myers-Briggs.
teasing. I'm just teasing.
That's what was really popular when I was in school studying psychology. So I got a lot of Myers-Briggs
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
stuff. But I do really like the Enneagram.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really helpful. But that's
Did you-
not what we're here to
Did
talk
you
about.
do that for all your kids then?
I gotta
You-
stop.
you know
I'm
what
like,
your
is it as
Enneagrams-
helpful as your copy of the message in your Devo basket?
That was hilarious when she brought her Devo basket.
Oh,
I know.
she brought us
All
a
the-
prop, and she's like, "I have this Devo basket marker." And I'm like, "What's in
What?
there?" Taking through her books.
That's
Did I ever
funny.
tell you
Oh,
guys that
man.
we have a guy that goes to church here, and he said, the next time I hear anybody stand up in this pulpit and read from the message like it's an actual Bible, he said, I'm leaving.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
Has
you-
anyone ever done that from the pulpit?
Well,
don't
I
think-
quote it from time
Oh,
to time.
that's funny.
But
That's funny.
I usually prefaced it by saying, this is Eugene Peterson's
Yeah.
opinion or a
Yeah.
paraphrase.
I've heard
but
people say it makes a great commentary.
yeah,
It
I
does,
mean, it's
it
one,
does.
one
Yeah.
guy's opinion, but anyways,
Right.
long story short.
Right. Well, any
Yeah.
Bible translation is sort of a commentary in
be
some ways
nice.
on the original,
You know,
right?
I've heard guys read.
I just used the Bible that Paul used. That's all. I mean, I'm still using.
I've heard a guy read from Chronicles of Narnia while giving a sermon,
I have too.
because the way that C.S. Lewis describes heaven in the
Yeah.
Chronicles of Narnia, you know he's thinking through
Absolutely.
heaven for us.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty sick insight when you like line it up. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's true.
Well, and I've actually quoted from Aslan, and in the way he talks about Aslan, and is he safe? He's not safe, but
Yes,
he's good.
he's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Good.
I
love
just
that.
I
used-
love that
so
one.
Sunday I was talking with this guy who's coming to the Lord and trying to really help him understand who Jesus is, and so you're like, have you ever read the Chronicles of Narnia? He's like, yeah, I have. And I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
Jesus is not
Perfect.
a tame lion. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
come to him and expect him to get on your terms. You know, you have
Yeah.
to come to him on his terms. And yeah, so I love those books,
Yeah.
man. So good.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe in the fall, because we've talked about it this year, we didn't have time for it, but during the fall when we come back out strong, I would love to do a cover on the Chronicles of Narnia. I mean,
Yeah.
I loved those books.
They're wonderful.
Such good books.
How
They're
many
so
are there?
good.
7.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
we could just do a couple of the good ones.
You mean all 7?
I mean, if you want to read The Horseman's Boy, go for it, Heather. That was a good one, though.
That's funny.
There's a few in the middle you kind of like, they're decent. But like the ones that are really
Yeah.
like that overarching redemption theme,
Yeah,
there's a few of them pretty
it's
good.
true. It's true.
Are we open to people making suggestions on what they'd like us to cover next fall?
Absolutely.
If you want to send us a note or a response,
Yep.
Yeah.
we'll consider it.
Post a comment. We
If
would
it's a
love
good
to hear.
idea,
Yeah.
and we get to decide if it's a good idea or not.
Or if it's God idea.
Got it. Yeah.
Boom.
Right.
Good ideas versus God ideas. That should be one of our next podcast topics. A good idea over
That's
a God
good.
idea.
Can't we
Write
put
it
that on the
down.
list for
It's a good
other
one.
topics?
So what's coming up this fall? We are super excited for more podcasts, more book covers. But one thing we're actually going to step in and try doing is bringing in more guest speakers.
Yes.
And that is one I'm really excited
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
So we got guys that some of them are nearby, some of them not so near, who
Yep.
are more qualified to speak on certain topics, or they have a unique story, unique history with God and where they're at, or maybe even in Ashland. And we're hoping to seek them out and bring them onto podcast.
Now, when
for
you say
guys.
bring them, are you talking about physically bring them and interview them?
Some will do physically.
Some online, internet.
Some may
kind
have
of
to
stuff?
do like a call-in
Remote?
style. We have
Okay.
that ability now.
Oh,
Some of
neat.
them are pretty far away.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we'd be able to swing it. But I can say that there is a Ashland Christian Fellowship favorite that we have on the docket right now to record for you guys, who's no longer here, but I think we're going to get him
Oh,
and his
man.
lovely
Yeah,
wife
I know
in
who you're
person.
talking about. It's
Nice.
going to be so
It's
fun.
going to be so fun.
So
So
fun.
I can't wait for the fall. It's going to be
Yeah,
good.
it's going to be really
Yeah.
good.
That guy is a hoot. My wife doesn't like that phrase, but I think he's a hoot.
He is a hoot.
Yeah,
I won't
he's
say
a
his name,
I won't either.
but you'd know him by his beard.
Yeah. I won't either. But his initials are Luke Frechette.
Yeah, we're hoping to get Luke Frechette on a podcast here soon.
There
And,
you
know,
go.
we're working to make that happen. So, all exciting stuff. Another
Yeah.
thing we're gonna do is we're gonna continue updating our podcast space, and we have a
Yep.
really fun idea to finish off our backboard, which is gonna be awesome.
I haven't
Yep.
heard, so I'm excited.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Surprise me.
We will surprise you. We may even surprise ourselves.
It's true.
Heather, what else we got coming up?
I have just a couple other things written down. Well, handling stress, the other things we've already talked about. So that's written down. And then I have a list back here of people that we'd like to interview and talk with.
Yeah, we got
So
quite a
we've
few
got
people.
a long list of people that we want to have on. Yeah, either for different topics or just to have them share a part of their story or their life and how God has just,
Like, it's been a lot of fun
Yeah.
with the three of us, but there were times when we'd bring in someone else,
Yeah.
yeah.
and it was just so fun.
Fresh.
Like,
Yeah, it was really
fresh
good.
and different perspective and personality,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
and we want to capture more of
Yeah.
that. We've always loved having Chris on, having your husband on. a couple
Yeah.
weeks back was so fun.
I
was
gotta go
fun.
see that one.
You
Yeah.
gotta watch it
That
with
was
Mark
fun.
on
Okay.
Courage.
Oh,
Courage.
neat.
It was
I
on
will.
Courage.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so fun, and I
Yeah.
love Mark, and our body is full of people like that,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of our list of people we know. We just know some awesome people.
Well, and you're
Yeah.
pretty good, Cody, at interviewing people.
Thank you, Mark.
Asking the right questions.
Yep.
I think it's something you should really pursue.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. That's
Yeah.
the Lord.
Yeah.
Because normally I'm the talker.
Well, yeah, but I think you've got a gift of drawing certain things out of people and steering the conversation in a way. It's harder to do than people think. I mean,
Yeah.
I've done 2 interviews, and man, they can get away from you in a hurry.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, and you go down
Yeah.
rabbit trails, and you end up, what am I talking about? But I think you're really gifted at it.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, I look forward to
That'll
some
be
of
fun.
those.
For everyone but Heather, because we never let her talk.
We do, and we get criticized for that all the time.
Oh man, we're working on it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well,
Well, this was going to be a short one.
This was going to be a
Are we
short
wrapping
one.
it up?
We are wrapping it up.
Right.
So we really wanted to come on, let you guys know kind of where we've been, but where we're going.
Yep.
So if you see there's no podcast being released for the next 4 weeks, it's not because we're done with podcast.
Right.
We're taking a break. Here's what I would ask: a personal favor to all of our listeners. Would you pray?
Yeah.
As we went back and looked at
Yep.
the list of what we've covered, we're like, man, the Lord's hand
he was
on
directing
it.
all of it.
And as we plan for going into the fall and the next
Yeah.
year, we want the Lord's hand on it again too. We really want
Yep.
this podcast to be anointed for God's glory and for his use. So be praying for us. We're going to be meeting this month. We're going to be planning.
There you go.
Sorry,
You
swallowing.
saw it live, folks, right here on Verified.
Oh man, right here. But if you maybe have a thought on your heart, man, I would have loved to have heard this talked about, or why don't you go ahead
Yes.
and message that to us? We're totally open to ideas. I can't
Yeah.
promise it's going to make it on, but if the Lord's leading you, the good news is he's probably going to lead us too. So go ahead and send
Yeah.
that thought in. We
Yeah.
would love to hear from you guys.
This
Mark,
is-
any thoughts?
No, I just wanted to say to you two, this has been one of the most favorite things I've done. So thank you for
good.
letting me be involved.
You
Yeah,
bet. Well,
it's
we'd
been
love
fun.
doing it with you. We
Yeah.
missed
Yeah,
you on
we
vacation.
did.
Yeah,
we
well,
did.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Nice to be missed.
Yeah.
It is a good
Yeah.
thing.
Good to have you back.
Lady told me she missed me, and then she waited for me to say I missed her, and I go, "It's good to be missed."
On Sunday morning when you came back?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
oh, boy.
awesome.
That's what happens when you have a break.
That's awesome.
Like,
It's
wow.
like the Han Solo moment where Princess Leia's like, "I love you," and he's like, "I know." You know, it's just like
Yep.
it's just the best. I think the way you should
Yep.
respond to people is that way.
I thought about it later, and I said, what I should have said is, I would like to say I missed you too.
Right.
I'd like to be able to say that.
Oh
Right.
my goodness!
I'd like to say that.
Already,
Hey.
right back from vacation, right to the podcast,
Right.
and sparks flying. We're so excited for having you back on board for the fall,
Yeah.
Mark.
Thank you.
Have you got any closing thoughts?
I don't think so. I'm just excited for the things we have up ahead, and it was
Super
really
excited?
good.
Are you
Super
super
excited.
excited?
I'm super excited, and it was very good to look back and just remember the things that we've talked about.
And something we can add in that we are super excited for is we have a new outro and intro song for the fall
Yes.
coming up.
True.
But in the meantime, Brett, would you hit for the last time this outro song? Crank it up, crank it up.
I thought that was an intro song.
It's intro and outro.
It does it all.
Bye,
This song
everybody.
does it all.
Does not grow old. It gets me pumped. Like if this could be my alarm in the morning, I would do it. God bless you guys. We'll catch you again this fall on Verified Podcast.